Hello everyone, welcome again to Ace Attorney Investigations. We will be continuing Turnabout Kidnapper. Or the Kidnap Turnabout. My bad. March 13th, 3:45 PM, Gatewater Land Main Gate. Where's the costume, Detective Gumshoe?
Just on the other side of the mountain, sir. Fountain, not mountain.
Was it out here in the open all along?
No, it was discovered in the tall grass back there. We moved it out here in order to examine it more thoroughly.
Then let's get down to it. Blah 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 blah. Well, obvious point is obvious. What do we have here? Oh, it's another pendant. That's 2 treasures in one day. How lucky is that? And hey, this pretty baby is made of platinum silver too. Another pendant on top of the one we found on Mr. Deacon. Is it possible that these two... Hold it right there!
Hands off, Mr. Prosecutor. You sure know how to cross the line, don't you? A pendant, huh? This is a very decisive piece of evidence.
How can you tell?
Look here and read off what you see.
Lauren... Hey, that's a name that's engraved on this. It's a name that's... I cannot read today. Who the fuck is this?
Aha! We have you now, Miss Kidnapper.
Oh, that's her. No, you don't understand. Alright, it's Lance. What voice did I give Lance again?
Lolly, I can't believe you were one of my kidnappers.
Lance! You're kidding. Miss Pops was one of the kidnappers? Yes. It was me. I held Lance hostage. So Miss Pops is one of the kidnappers. But even knowing that, I can't call this case solved or over.
Hey, guys, case closed. Get the car ready, and I mean a special one for this young lady.
Hold it!
Again, Mr. Prosecutor? What is it this time?
Are you proposing that Miss Pops is also the culprit in the murder case? What happened? I thought Officer Meekins was your suspect.
We found it.
Found what?
That officer's gun. He literally dropped it in the middle of a thick patch of grass. Your country's police are a sham. Just look at how careless they are. Who are you calling a sham? The officer's gun didn't show any signs of having been fired, so it can't be the murder weapon.
So Officer Meekins has been cleared of all charges, I see.
And that's when a brand new suspect comes walking onto the scene. The murder only happened because the kidnappers started fighting amongst themselves. As I recall, it was you who said that, right, Mr. Prosecutor?
Miss Pops, did you really kill Mr. Deacon? Yes, I killed him. I can't believe it.
Thanks for the confession.
Objection! Agent Lang, it's much too early to declare this case closed.
Look at you, so sure of yourself. We've got the culprit's own confession and some very incriminating evidence. What more could you possibly ask for?
Miss Lauren Pops. Yes? I want to hear it from you. Tell me your side of all that has happened today, from the kidnapping to the murder. But why? I'm a kidnapper and a killer. Isn't that enough? It's fine if you're the one behind everything, but only if that is the truth. Now then, will you tell us the truth? Or is there some reason why you can't? Delicious ring pop.
I've had a change of heart. I think I'd enjoy seeing you soak away as the losing mutt. Alright, you heard me. Let's hear about all the evil deeds you committed today.
The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon. We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. Mr. Amano would pay anything to get his son back after all. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me.
Doubtful.
There, are you satisfied? She just confessed to her crimes a second time. At least you had the guts to admit what you've done. I can at least respect that much.
Miss Pops, is what you said really the truth?
Yes, it is.
If that's the truth, it certainly isn't the whole truth. Because there is something that seems a bit too improbable in her confession.
Hold it!
How well did you know the victim? Oh.
I've spoken with them only a few times at Lance's house.
A few times? That's it?
Yes.
If they only met a few times, I don't see how they could have trusted each other.
But if you hardly ever talked, then how could he trust you not to steal his plan?
Not so fast. That's completely irrelevant. He was planning to betray her from the very beginning. Which is why he chose someone he wasn't especially close to. Isn't that right, Sheena?
Yes, however, Mr. Deacon made a very poor choice. In the end, he was killed by the one he intended to betray himself.
I bet he didn't see that one coming.
Just gonna press everything just in case. You knew. How did you know something like that?
Oh no, what should I do?
Okay, what's wrong with her now?
Oh, come on, isn't it obvious? You're making your scary face again, that's why. Why don't you try asking her in a nicer, more gentle way?
No, stop it, Lauren. You're always like this. You always fall for the stern-looking one. That's why you'll always be unhappy.
Or maybe that's it. She's been bewitched by your icy glare.
Mind your business, Kay. Now then, Miss Pops, let's continue with your testimony.
Oh, yes, of course.
That was it. That was just all I got from that press. It just, oh damn, she's kind of into him.
Hold it!
Hold it. Why did you believe that?
Anyone who knows Mr. Amano would think the same.
I bet Lance is that old man's greatest treasure.
I suppose he would be to a doting father like Mr. Amano.
I always figured that it was, too. And I was always envious of Lance for it.
Oh, because your dad's...
I got this pendant from my father. And I believe that as long as I have this, I'll find my father again someday. He'll welcome me into his arms, riding on the back of Pegasus.
That pendant, she must truly believe it to be the wings of Pegasus.
Hold it!
Would you mind telling us a little about the plan itself?
Well, first we captured Lance.
Oh, how'd you do that?
Well, Mr. Deacon did that on his own, so I don't quite know.
Ah, and here I thought you knew how to steal people away.
I shudder to think what she would do with such knowledge.
Sorry, I don't really know, but somehow Mr. Deacon was able to contain him. All we had to do after that was wait for the ransom to be paid, but...
Oh, I did not mean to click. Blobbity blah 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 blah. I will give it a careful listen. Yes, absolutely.
Hold it!
Why do you think he did?
I have no idea, but maybe he had planned on doing so from the very beginning.
Miss Pops.
Wait, Mr. Deacon planned to kill Miss Pops from the very beginning. Was that ever really likely to happen? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Yes. I'm sorry, but I don't think what you just claimed is all that likely.
Huh?
I don't think Mr. Deacon would have ever been capable of killing you.
But why? We were total strangers. It's not uncommon for people to kill each other over money.
Hold it. Miss Pops, you really are clueless, aren't you?
What do you mean?
You never knew what your role in the kidnapping was, nor do you know who you really are. But I do, and I can show you with this piece of evidence. This proves that Mr. Deacon wouldn't have been able to bring himself to kill Miss Pops. Now, do I show this one? I'm not pressing that. Doesn't sound like it. Okay, the Pegasus then. Well, fuck you too then, eat shit.
Hey, prosecutor, are you sure you're the one? Are you sure the one who doesn't know anything isn't you?
That's a canonical Edgeworth sound of damage. It's going. This is factual, actually. This is just confirmed by the authors. Oh, they're actually gone. Okay, no. Shut up. Move on, move on, move on.
Hold it!
Now, hold it. Raise an objection. Anyway, Mr. Deacon's pennant. Yes. Boring.
Why are you showing this to me?
So what about the pendant?
This horse pendant, along with this piece of evidence, shows you who you really are. Well, yes.
Take that!
Those two pendants resemble each other, wouldn't you say?
Hey, you're right. They're the same color and they're even made of the same metal.
I believe that these two pendants are actually one.
Eh?
What, she looked like she got slapped. Shall we give it a try?
Wow, it's totally Pegasus.
But why? Why does my pendant match up with Mr. Deacon's?
You're a smart lady. I'm sure you can imagine why that might be.
No, that can't be.
So the two make a set. It's just another trinket. It's not as though this changes anything.
You lack imagination, Agent Lang. Very well, I'll show you with this evidence. This is the piece of evidence that gives meaning to the Pegasus pendant.
Take that!
Oliver Deacon was just an alias for this man. His real name was Colin Deveray, the name that is etched on the horse pendant.
What?
What? An alias? Sorry, got something in my throat there.
I suppose he had to hide the fact that he was a felon somehow in order to live. And it makes sense given what is written in Mr. Deveray's dossier. But what I really wanted to point out was this.
Take that!
Mr. Deveray had one daughter, and her name is Lauren Pops.
That's a lie. That person was not my father.
He couldn't come out and tell you he was your father because he was in hiding. However, I believe he was trying to secretly watch over you. Do you still believe that a man like that could kill the daughter he was separated from? Or even that such a man would allow his daughter to get involved in a kidnapping plot?
Not so fast.
And what is so funny, Agent Lang?
You're good at making things up in your head and deciding it's the truth, aren't you?
Oh, he's really good at that. What are you trying to say?
Your thinking is much too innocent. After all, I've thought of another possibility.
Is that so? Well, let's hear it.
I'll grant you that the two of them are father and daughter. But isn't it possible that they both knew that fact? It was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the House of Amano. and the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping. Wouldn't you say that my scenario is as probable, that my scenario is perfectly probable as well?
So this is his version of how things might have been.
You don't have any proof that they didn't know of their true relationship, right?
And you're saying that the two of them committed the kidnapping together?
That's right. As one really rotten family.
Is that really what happened? I had better take a long, hard look at the evidence.
Hold it!
You think they knew?
Yeah, and I don't think only the victim knew. I think the girl realized it as well. They both knew who the other person was, but they had to pretend that they didn't.
Because he was on the lam.
You got it. The victim couldn't exactly go around flaunting who he was. Furthermore...
Whoa.
Hold it!
One is a butler and one is a friend of the son, you mean?
They probably thought that was their best shot.
Is that what you honestly believe?
Of course.
Hold it!
You mean how they plotted to commit this crime as blood relatives?
Can you think of a better partner? They're certainly a clever pair.
The butler and the girlfriend, no one would ever suspect that they were in fact family.
Yes, from the very beginning they painstakingly practiced those roles as well.
Man, his voice kind of hurts my throat.
Hold it!
I believe you're being a bit too overconfident for someone with no evidence.
Am I? Because I don't see you presenting evidence to the contrary.
Without evidence, we're stuck in a stalemate. Agent Lang isn't wrong. The scenario is certainly a probable one.
You better hurry up and do something or Lauren's gonna wind up looking really bad.
I know, but first things first, is Agent Lang's line of logic factually correct? Oh, right, of course, we know that there was a third person.
Objection!
Okay, that's not going to do right now. Now, I don't necessarily know if this is, like, if it's the wrong one because it's the wrong piece of evidence, or if it's the wrong statement that I objected to. So I'm gonna try this for fuck's sake.
Hold it!
Not what I meant to do. I am fucking everything up right now.
For fuck's sake! God damn it! Stop clicking!
Objection!
Still no. So it is a yawn. Wait, did I object to the third one? Or, oh, for fuck's sake, did I not do to this one? Try again.
Objection!
Oh my god, I did the wrong one. Okay. This kidnapping wasn't planned by just two people alone.
And what kind of proof do you have of that?
Quite simply, there were 3 kidnappers.
3?
4 costumes were stolen from the Wild Wild West area's back room. We found one of them in the kidnapper's hideout, but as for the other 3, we can assume they were being worn by 3 different people. We also found a set of 3 cups and 3 folding chairs that we used in the hideout. It all clearly points to a 3-man group, and I believe this 3rd person is the real mastermind behind the kidnapping.
Who is the mastermind?
I present to you the brains behind the kidnapping.
Take that!
It's Lance, isn't it? Yeah.
Lance Amano?
Yes, this abduction was in fact schemed up by Lance himself. Recall what he said when he appeared before us.
Did you see the faces of your kidnappers?
No, I didn't see their faces, but 2. One was a woman. However, there were 3 kidnappers, which is in direct contradiction to what he said. But I know I only saw 2 people.
This guy was being held hostage. It's possible he couldn't see all 3 of them.
Ah, yes, about where you were being held. I have my doubts about what happened then. Lance, would you mind telling us what happened while you were being held captive? I really don't remember much anymore, honest. But if I don't tell you at least something, you won't believe me at all, will you? I was kidnapped yesterday morning. They had me shut in that room, blindfolded the entire time. But the kidnapper suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside. My hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone. I made my escape and ran away from that room as fast as possible. Through the underground passageway, I presume.
Are you okay?
Sorry, I really didn't want to recall that horrible ordeal, but now you believe me, right? No, not quite yet. Ah, how can you not? Why do you look at me when I see daggers in your eyes?
Because he's a prosecutor, and because they're all like that.
I'll have you know, Agent Lang, a prosecutor's eyes are for discerning the truth. And looking at Phoenix Wright's ass. And should they be interpreted to be cruel at times, then so be it. There's a sticking point in Lance's testimony. Let's see what he offers up when I push a little.
Hold it!
By that room, you mean the room in the kidnapper's hideout, correct? Yes, but I was blindfolded the whole time, so I didn't know that until I made my escape. Then you were in the same room as your kidnappers. They spoke in hushed tones, but I could catch bits of their conversation. It was definitely 2 people, and one of them was definitely a woman. I was so scared I could tell they were nearby, so I didn't dare make a move.
Hold it!
The kidnappers disappeared. The room fell into a sudden silence. I had been left behind like an unwanted mutt. And what do you mean by unwanted mutt?
What a pointless question. It's not like he's gonna tell you anything new, you know.
It's a poetic simile. You should learn how to use them too. You may look refined on the outside, but it's no good if you're not refined on the inside as well.
Hold it!
Then, those cuffs on your wrists. I suppose you're still cuffed in that case? I am well aware of how I am chained to reality. I couldn't find the key, so I'm afraid that I'm stuck like this. Even though I escaped from that jail cell, I will forever be a prisoner.
Hold it!
How did you manage to escape? I wanted to just get out of there, but the door leading outside was locked, which is why I had to use the underground passageway to make my escape. I remember our escape to be equally as hard. This is an invaluable piece of testimony, and I mustn't let it go unexamined.
Hold it!
Well, we know it wasn't, but... By underground passageway, you mean the one the staff uses to travel unnoticed. I cannot read. I suppose that's what it's for, but I didn't run into any staff members on my way out. And once I was up top, I was busy trying to find a member of the police. And that is when you found us congregated at the stadium, I suppose. Let me ask you then, how did you get a hold of the key to the underground door? That was easy. It was hanging right there in the room on the wall. I do recall a key hanging on the wall right beside the table.
Boy, does that bring back memories of our situation and how we managed our escape.
Indeed, although the door on the floor of our room led to an underground room, the door on the floor of the room next door had a secret passageway.
A secret passageway under a theme park? Ooh, that sounds like so much fun.
I wonder, is there something off about the way Lance made his escape? Yes. Because it wasn't locked.
Objection!
You say that the door leading out was locked, but was it really?
We're talking about that room behind the saloon front, right? Look, I heard that it took quite a few men to get that thing open. Right, Sheena?
Yes, that's correct.
And take a look at this.
What's that? A sword? It's not an especially reliable one it's not an especially reliable one if it's broken like that.
Allow me to start from the end. My conclusion is that the door was never locked. It was simply held shut by this sword, which was used to jam the handle. Lance, even though your hands were cuffed together, you could still use them. If that's the case, then why do you not just simply remove the sword and escape? Why didn't I? I was disoriented.
Yes, that's it.
Oh, yes, that's it. I didn't notice it. As if I should accept such a bold-faced lie. You locked yourself in that room because you had to make yourself look like the victim. But you did not, in fact, possess the key to that door. That is why you used a prop sword to improvise and create a prison of your very own.
Not so fast. You've been making this guy out to be one of the kidnappers for some time now. I wonder if you've forgotten something very important along the way.
And what would that be?
A motive. What else? You honestly think that an upright, pure boy like him would hatch up a completely pointless scheme such as kidnapping himself?
Objection!
This proves that Lance did indeed have a motive to commit this crime.
Take that!
To put it simply, Lance had a very urgent need for money. This is hardly your typical love letter. It is in fact a collections bill. It appears our upstanding boy has accumulated quite a debt. Isn't that right, Lance?
Looks like it's hard being the son of a rich man, too. It must be rough when you have to resort to stealing from your old man, huh?
All right, I give up. I abducted myself.
Lance!
Whoosh. It's over, Lolly. In this life, we really are bound to our own fates, after all. All I wanted was to go with you to a new town, somewhere where no one would know us. I wanted us to be well off with that $1 million. But now that dream is over.
Oh, Lance!
Then you're giving yourself up. Yes, I had planned to run away from this world with my Lolly. Oliver even helped us with the plan, but then he had to go and stab us in the back. He turned on you. Maybe he didn't want to split the ransom money. That's my guess. It happened almost right after you made the drop-off. When we were all alone, he attacked me all of a sudden. After a brief struggle, I was able to contain him and keep him under control. We left him inside that room as Lolly and I made our escape. We wore different costumes and split up. Lolly left first in the Blue Badger costume. That would mean the person Officer Meekin saw was Miss Pops. But right then, the old man just had to wake up. I was pretty careless, and he tackled me pretty hard from behind. Then, Oliver put on a Bad Badger costume. took the suitcase with $1,000,000 and ran. I contacted Lolly right away, and he warned her that he had a gun. They had no idea that they were related, so I thought that it could only end badly.
I still don't believe it. That person was not my father. Because if he was, I just killed my own father.
Lolly, then it was really you.
That man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium, there was a bad badger pulling a suitcase with $1 million in it. But that badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. There was a gunshot. The other person crumpled to the ground, and I ran, scared for my life.
I think the big picture is finally coming into focus, don't you?
Lolly, forgive me. I didn't think it would turn into something so frightening. If only I could have protected you.
So, Miss Pops, she shot her own dad without even knowing who he really was?
If what she says is true...
Are you saying she's lying? But why would she lie about something like that? What purpose would it serve?
You'd be surprised how often people lie without ever even realizing it themselves, Kay.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
It's called being wrong. What I mean is, listen very carefully to her confession once more, and you'll see.
Hold it!
Please calm down and let's slowly talk through this.
But
All you have to do is simply tell us what happened at the stadium. Leave it to us to search out the truth. Can you do that for me?
Alright, so at the stadium...
Hold it!
That was the ransom money, wasn't it?
Yes, that's how I was able to identify Mr. Deacon almost immediately. It was all thanks to what Lance told me.
And what did he tell you?
Well, he called me on my cell phone, late night when you need my love, and told me that Mr. Deacon had betrayed us and had run off with the ransom money, and about how he had a gun.
Hold it!
Were you able to clearly see the gun?
Yes, I got a very good look at it while it was pointed at me. Oh, Father, why would you try to shoot me?
Do you really think a father would shoot his own daughter, Mr. Edgeworth?
I don't know.
I don't want to believe it myself.
But it's true, my father's left arm was raised with a gun in it. Pointed straight at me. I'm about to die, I thought.
Miss Pops, please calm down and take a deep breath. And then, would you allow me to please hear that last statement once more? Left arm, you say? That's fucking wrong.
Yes, of course.
Objection!
Oh, come on. Really? How is that not the right one? That's bullshit.
Hold it!
And you felt that your life was in danger, correct?
Yes, I'm about to die, I thought. So...
Oh, this is what I should be. I gotta present the Blue Badger Bible.
Objection!
What do you mean? What more can I show? This has got to be the right statement, but like... Right, I'll just continue. You shot Mr. Deacon. Miss Pops.
Yes, I shot him.
And that, as they say, is that.
Agent Lang, Miss Pops is far from done. She hasn't even finished her testimony yet.
And you're going to continue questioning her? What a waste of time.
Miss Pops, if you please.
All right.
Hold it!
You did take off immediately following the gunshot.
Yes,
And you didn't attempt to approach the victim at all after he was shot.
I was scared.
I don't blame you. I would have done the exact same thing. Poor Miss Pops. What will become of her, Mr. Edgeworth?
Well, she seems to be telling the truth regarding what happened at the stadium. However, I don't believe it to be absolutely correct. Listen very carefully to her confession once more and you'll see.
Which one is it?
Oh, dominant hand right.
Objection!
Okay. That's me. I have here a dossier on your father. It's true that is more like that is better evidence because like you know, we can't necessarily prove that he was using the Bad Badger's gun. He could have had his own gun. But saying he was right-handed makes a lot more sense. According to this, your father was right-handed.
Then
The person pointing a gun at you from atop the stage was not Mr. Deacon.
Not so fast. Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a refresher course. The Bad Badger has a model gun attached to his right hand, which is why the only hand he could have held the gun with was his left. Isn't it possible that he went down like that?
Agent Lang, were you paying attention to what Miss Pops was saying? Then again, I suppose I can't expect someone who has never set foot in a court to catch it.
Enough with the smugness. Out with it already.
Miss Pops told us earlier... Yeah, the suitcase. According to you, the Bad Badger had the gun in his left hand, which would mean that he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Miss Pops?
yes, exactly. And I'm sure it was the Bad Badger. It had those huge sunglasses on its face.
But if that's the case, even I can see there is a huge contradiction.
Yes, Miss Pops claims to have seen the Bad Badger. And yet, the Bad Badger had both of his hands full. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong. Well, that's what I like that. Holding a gun in his right hand as he pulls the suitcase at the same hand, isn't it possible for a right-handed person to do both things simultaneously? No, that's not what I meant to say. Sure. Oh, maybe it wasn't the Bad Badger. It was someone else wearing the same hat. Miss Pops, what you saw was not the Bad Badger. Think back and recall which character was it that leveled a gun at you.
But it was wearing a pair of sunglasses, and it had a strange blue beard.
That sums up the Bad Badger pretty well, I'd say.
Too bad for you, but it looks like the Bad Badger wasn't a mistake here.
Oh, come on! We have the head separately somewhere! If that's not a pointer to someone swapped out the heads of the Badger costumes, I don't know what is. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, Classic, Ace Attorney, both are correct. They've done this like several times. They are both correct.
Impossible. That just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction.
Oh, yeah, irresolvable, I guess. I keep forgetting that resolve is spelled with an S. Miss Pop's entire statement rests on the fact that she saw his sunglasses and beard. But what if the Bad Badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? This proves that there was a way for the Bad Badger to freely use both hands.
Take that!
Come on! Fuck this case, it's full of red herrings! I'm gonna kill this man. I'm gonna kill everyone in this room, actually. We're not even in a room, and I'm gonna kill everyone in the room. I'll become the baddest of badgers.
Take that!
The head. The costumes have two parts to them, and a head and a body.
Oh, I get it now.
The head Miss Pop saw was probably really the head of the Bad Badger. However, is it not possible that the body was that of an entirely different badger? That's what I've been saying! A different
badger.
Yes, or to put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this badger. I believe it was a proto-badger, right?
Take that!
What the heck is it?
It's the proto-badger.
It's the proto-badger.
Yes, and it's a simple matter of process of elimination. Miss Pops is wearing the blue badger's costume, so we can eliminate that one. Then the pink badger is of the wrong color, which could have been incredibly obvious. All that is left is the proto-badger costume. Miss Pops, who was the one who wore the proto-badger costume?
That would be Lance.
Not so fast. Are you saying what I think you are? That Lance Amano donned the badger's head and pretended to be Mr. Deacon? On top of that, he planned to shoot Miss Pops while wearing that hideous thing?
The stage that was set up in the stadium was nothing more than that, a setup. And its purpose was to lead Miss Pops into believing she had committed murder. Standing there in front of Miss Pops and pretending to be the victim, it was all done so that she would pull the trigger.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Why exactly would I have to do all that, huh?
There is but one reason, Lance Amano. You are the real culprit behind the murder of Mr. Oliver Deacon.
What? No!
That's slander. Take it back. You take it back right now. Just out of curiosity, Lance, which is your dominant hand?
I'm left-handed. What does that have to do with anything?
It depends. According to Miss Pops, her attacker held a gun in his left hand.
Not so fast. Who is what hand that doesn't prove a thing? And besides, now you're just being absurd. It's not like the proto-badger is bulletproof.
Ah, damn it.
One misfire and he would have found himself dead, right?
Objection. Of course, logically, if he had been shot, he probably wouldn't be here with us. But I believe he had thought of that as well, and prepared accordingly. And this should be all the evidence you need. This is how Lance made sure that he wouldn't be hit by a bullet.
Take that!
We found one half of the badger costume in a hideout, a broken one. It was not the same one that the victim was wearing. Plus, it was missing something. And that something is the model gun that the bad badger carried. which can fire blanks.
What?
Miss Pops, where's the gun you used now?
I threw it away into the sea.
That makes it a bit tough to verify what it was, although I believe we can safely assume that it was the model gun in question.
Not so fast. I've heard enough. All you've been spouting so far is pure conjecture.
Very true. I admit that as long as the model gun is lost to us, I can't prove I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I am right is very high.
Okay, let's pretend you're right, and that the murder at the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor?
I don't know yet.
I knew you were full of it.
However, I do believe that the murder took place during an earlier time frame.
Hold it. Please wait a second. It's simply not possible. Because I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance.
She saw the victim in the state of being restrained.
I came back to the hideout long after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door. After that, the two of us put on our costumes and made our escape.
So Mr. Deacon must have escaped after the two of you left, right?
We thought that it'd attract too much attention if we left together, so I left first. We planned to meet up again at the stage in the stadium. But then, as I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my phone.
Oliver managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole the gun from me at that time.
And then the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard their plan to meet up at the stage. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Popp saw the victim with her own eyes. Which means that the victim was still alive at that time, wouldn't you agree?
Why does that sound wrong to me? There must be something amiss about this account. Let's see what happens when I examine it in more detail.
Hold it!
When exactly did you arrive back at the hideout?
It was after we had picked up the ransom money.
And where were you up until the time you returned?
I was scouting the park out and making preparations for our escape. I walked around in the various areas looking for our best route.
Ah, so each of them had their own rules to play.
After I was done, I went back to the hideout.
Hold it!
How did Lance look at that time?
He looked shocked. He also looked a little down. When I saw that sadness in his eyes,
Thank you, that's enough for now. And what of Mr. Deacon? What was his situation like?
Hold it!
You are sure that it was Mr. Deacon you saw?
Yes, I am certain of what I saw.
Did you go into the other room to check?
Lance said that it was best if I didn't get too close to him. Lance, he's such a kind soul.
Then are you telling me that you did not confirm that it was Mr. Deacon for yourself?
I checked through the slit in the door that separates the two rooms. He had a bad badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure. That just had to be Mr. Deacon.
She saw a bad badger head.
Hold it!
So the tied-up Mr. Deacon was still in his bad badger costume.
Yes, and?
It would appear that she misread the whole situation. What now? Should I raise an objection? Yes. The person you saw was not the victim.
What? Why not?
I will tell you why not with this. This, Miss Pops, shows us that the person you saw was not the victim. I want to say that one, right? I'm gonna say so. Miss Pops, the person you saw was not Mr. Deacon at all. Huh? The person you actually saw was this person. It was me. It was me.
Huh? The person I saw was you, Mr. Edgeworth?
I always thought it was a bit odd. Why would the kidnappers abduct me even after I had handed over the ransom? It's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken $1 million and ran. But in the end, there was a point to it all. It was to make me look like Mr. Deacon. And if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume that the victim was already dead at that time. Well, Lance, am I right?
That's...
You showed Miss Pops a person, namely me, with a bad badger's head on, and then made your costume and escape together. Or so you pretended.
Huh? What do you mean he pretended?
Exactly that. I believe Lance watched you escape, and then doubled back to the hideout. Probably to come and remove the bad badger head from my unconscious self.
Yeah...
And to create his fake prison with the prop sword. He then escaped via the passageway.
Not so fast. Hold your tongue, boy.
I wouldn't say even twink.
This fucking dweeb is currently holding on to me. Don't get caught up in that tidal wave of words coming out of the prosecutor's mouth.
Tidal wave?
We've heard a lot coming out of you, but I've yet to see a single shred of evidence. The victim's betrayal and his subsequent detainment. All that could have happened while you were out cold.
That's right. You were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor. Even if that were the case, Miss Pops would have still seen me tied to that beam.
I was so scared of Mr. Deacon, so I didn't go into the next room. So I really have no idea if you were in there or not, Mr. Edgeworth.
You see, it would seem that you can't prove a thing.
What? No. Hold it. Oh.
Hold it. Who said that? Please wait.
Mr. Amano.
Oh, Miles, my boy. Looks like you're really giving it your all. And Lance, it's not good to cause trouble for others.
Dad.
Let's see, you're the one in charge of the
Yeah.
You're the one in charge of the investigation, correct? Yes, that's right. I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you.
Oh? Do you now? Is that what I think it is?
It's the bad badger costume the victim was wearing.
I couldn't wait around for the police, so I went around and found these myself. It appears that it was disposed of in the sea.
Is there no one in this country who actually obeys the law?
There. Now, Agent Lang, please calm down.
Huh? What the heck is that scrap of paper?
This appears to be a letter from the Chief of Police. Please allow Mr. Amano to complete freedom to do as he sees fit. It says...
What?
The Chief of Police? Just who does he think he is?
That person who wields the highest authority in this area.
Oh, there now. There is no need to be so upset.
I'm not a cop from this land, so I'm not bound by the laws of your country.
Now. This wasn't meant to strong-arm you into anything. It's just a request. I'm only asking that you please respect the laws of the land.
I can't really say no to that. However, returning to the topic at hand. It doesn't matter who found the evidence. Its value remains unchanged. Alright now, let's take a look at this new evidence.
I've already got the results back. I had a special forensic research lab that I'm on good terms with conduct the tests. They verified that the blood on this costume belonged to Oliver. As for the gun, the only fingerprints they could find were yours, Lauren.
What?
You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such distress and heartache. Thank goodness I was able to find the final pieces of evidence. With this, you'll have no reason left to push my poor boy around.
That's it. These are the case-making pieces of evidence. Huh. I'll be the judge of that. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious nook and every suspicious cranny. Crannies! Could this gun be the actual murder weapon? This bullet hole. It looks like it's the kind of burnt around the edges. Wait, those burn marks were left by the gunpowder. This is a most important fact.
Why is that?
Because it is proof that the victim was shot at point-blank range. What's this? It looks like there's something inside the costume's head.
Hey, they sparkle. I bet they're really valuable.
Sorry, but they're just pieces of a mirror. But why are they in here?
Well, are these not the most definitive pieces of evidence you've seen?
Thank you, Dad. This should be enough to convince even Mr. Edgeworth over there. Make no mistake. Them. Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that mysterious gun, and they prove that it was Lolly who killed Oliver. But Oliver was also after Lolly's life. So, Mr. Edgeworth, even you must see that Lolly was only acting in self-defense. The fingerprints on the weapon, huh? Oh no, this isn't helpful at all. Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want is to do is save Lolly, but in the end, all I can do is watch on as she takes the punishment for her crimes. That may be all you can do, however, I still have a case to solve and a job to do. The job of unraveling your insidious lie. You wound me. Why won't you believe me, even in the face of all this evidence?
Hold it!
Those fingerprints, are you sure they belong to Miss Popps?
There's no mistake about it. Though, through my connections, I had the best forensics techniques money can buy performed.
I find that to be a bit peculiar.
What? Are you trying to pick an argument with me?
What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Sure. Frankly, I don't believe that Miss Popps' fingerprints should be on that gun to begin with. And the reason why Miss Popps' print should not be on that gun is... say the costumes? It's simply not possible for Miss Popps to have left any prints on the murder weapon. Because while she was at the stadium, Miss Popps was wearing a costume. Huh?
But there's been no mistake, we found fingerprints.
Well, Miss Popps, do you remember touching the gun at all during any time?
Ah, yes. As a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back in the hideout. I handed it off to Mr. Deacon when he and Lance left for the haunted house.
To retrieve the ransom money, I suppose. And there you have it. That is when Miss Popps' fingerprints found their way onto the gun.
Arrgh.
Do you understand now, Mr. Amano? The fingerprints do nothing to prove that Miss Popps is the murderer. But you still don't have anything to prove that she isn't the killer, right? You seem very adamant about insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer.
Oh, Lance.
What? No way. I'm incredibly worried about her. But that doesn't change the fact that you don't have any evidence, right? And that's where you're wrong. I have the evidence.
What? How?
The story that Miss Popps killed the victim at the stage in the stadium. The whole affair is simply not true, because that was not the real crime scene, but a setup. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all.
Take that!
Okay, never mind. I'm running low on health. Did Edward just argue on like what the rating of his bad evidence should be? Okay, let me... can I... Wait, can I not? Ah, shit, I can't. Okay. Is it the fact that it was point blank? Or is it the fact that it's completely wet? I'm assuming the point blank. But you could totally still shoot point blank from atop the stage and below the stage, right? That's the only thing I got.
Take that!
Take that. Let's take another good look at the costume the victim was wearing. Then I believe you will see why I insist he was not shot at the stadium.
Take that!
The burn around this bullet hole was made when the victim was shot at point-blank range. Ah, so then you mean the murder Miss Oldbag saw at the stadium really was... Yes, she saw two people, but they were separated by a distance. If the victim... Oh, right. Okay, well, that part I didn't remember. If the victim was indeed shot from below the stage, there shouldn't be a gunpowder burn. Ah!
Hey, look at you, Mr. Smarty Pants Prosecutor. Since you seem to know the answers, why not tell us where the real crime scene is then?
Yeah, last bit of, like, deducting. Lance set me up to look like Mr. Deacon back at the hideout. If that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to then. And the location where Lance and the victim were at just before I was imprisoned was... Well, clear show. Thank you for showing me the mirror again. It was at a haunted house.
Take that!
I think it's not unreasonable to assume that the murder took place in a haunted house.
The haunted house?
Yes, and I have proof that it is highly likely that the victim was killed here. What proves the real scene of crime was the haunted house?
Take that!
Mirror fragments. These are inside the costume the victim was wearing. The fragments of a mirror.
A mirror? And what does that have to do with anything?
Indeed, you don't exactly expect to find pieces of a mirror inside a costume. Yeah, that's actually pretty dangerous. However, there is one place I can think of where there is a plethora of mirror fragments. And that is the haunted house. Lance Amano, I propose that you killed Mr. Deacon with the revolver in the haunted house. What are we playing, Cluedo now? After that, you stole the blue Badgermobile to move his body to the Wild Wild West area. The timing of when the blue Badgermobile was stolen confirms this as fact.
Miles, my boy, say no more.
I'm sorry, Mr. Amano, but I cannot do that.
Not so fast. Be quiet. Yes, please do something. Stop that boy from speaking any more nonsense. Ernest Amano, correct? I meant you. Now be quiet, Gramps. How dare you? I don't need words. The only thing I require is evidence. Decisive evidence. And to call these mirror bits decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor. What? Sheena, wasn't there a mirror in the kidnapper's hideout? Yes, there was a mirror there. A mirror that's from the haunted house. You see, isn't it possible that fragments got into the costume there?
But, Agent Lang, there were no fragments on the floor, so the probability is very low.
Not so fast. Probability? Lang Ji says, on truth's path, the word probability does not exist. The only thing that does is definitive proof. The question, Mr. Prosecutor, is do you have the definitive proof that you need?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you? Do I have solid evidence that proves the murder took place at the haunted house? The answer is no.
See, so since you don't have any, shut up.
I don't have any evidence yet, but I'm certain the murder occurred around the time I turned the ransom over. At that time, the only people at the haunted house, besides myself, were Lance and Mr. Deacon. If I can prove that the murder took place at the haunted house, then I can prove Lance's guilt in connection to the murder. What now, Mr. Edgeworth? Agent Lang, I have a special request.
Yeah?
I'd like to prove to you that the scene of the crime was indeed the haunted house. Why in the world are you asking the werewolf for permission? Because I don't really have a choice if I want to find the truth.
Alright, permission granted. But you're not to touch a single thing, got it?
That won't be a problem. All that's important to me is that the truth be brought to light. It doesn't matter by who or how it's done, as long as it is.
Ugh. Sheena,
I'm here.
put in the paperwork for the authorization immediately.
Understood. I'll go get the Gatewater Group's approval.
Hold it! Who was that? Now. Let's hold on for a second. There is no need to obtain approval.
Mr. Romano?
Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this. What's this? Sheena.
It's the deed to the haunted house. The deed.
Read aloud.
Gatewater Land Incorporated hereby bequeaths the property known as the haunted house to Mr. Amano for the lump sum of $1 million, paid in full cash. What?
Oh, as you can see, I'm now the legal owner of the haunted house.
Are you kidding? When did you...
I ran into the owner of the park earlier and we made the deal almost immediately. How quickly things move when you can prepare $1 million in the blink of an eye.
That $1 million you prepared. Don't tell me it was...
Oh, that's right. This disgusting suitcase belongs to you, doesn't it? I don't have any more use for it, so you may have it back now.
You used the ransom money?
My Lance is a good boy. He even apologized for the kidnapping a bit earlier. So I do believe I will forgive him. After all, he did return the ransom money. That's the way things are, so if you would please discuss things with me from now on.
Discuss? What is there to discuss?
Why, permission to enter the haunted house, of course.
While we were busy listening to Lance's story, Mr. Amano was out there preempting us.
Permission to search the haunted house is denied. End the discussion. Agent Lang, I want you to arrest that girl. And Miles, you should hurry on home by now, my boy, before I really lose my temper.
Mr. Amano definitely has the deck stacked in his favor here. What should I do? If I leave it like this, the truth will be lost forever. To be continued! Alright, fuck me then. That's gonna be all.